Hey everybody, it's EJ and just here for lesson number 8, mini lesson. I hope everybody's doing good this week. And I thought today I could talk about picking technique, or the kind of picking technique I use. So there's two things that happen that are really important. First thing is how your finger makes the connection with the fret. You need to, like if you really work at all the different ways your finger can hit the fret, you find that sweet spot where it sounds right. So that's important, because otherwise, no matter how you pick, it's not going to sound right. And then the pick thing is where I like to, as you can see, I like to dig up like this. So whether I'm picking up or down, it doesn't as much go this way when I'm just picking. So what I'm kind of doing is just picking up. And it's important that your equipment is kind of corresponding with you. If the amp sounds too brittle or too stiff, it doesn't allow you to get that bounce going. So those are some of the first things about it. Now when I hold the pick, I kind of hold it kind of loose, and people have probably noticed I drop the pick a lot live, and it's kind of like, because I hold it kind of loose, I let there be a firm positive connection with the string, but I actually kind of, if I hold it too tight, it's basically making my whole wrist too tight, so I kind of keep it loose, and the one drawback is I will drop the pick, but it keeps the tone a little better. So I'm actually really just holding this pick pretty loose, and it's kind of like a 45-degree angle, and I'm just picking up. I learned that from like steel guitar players, the way they draw the sound out. They seem to pick like that, or at least my favorite players that got a great tone. So now the other thing is sometimes I'll use the pick and two fingers. So I might do something like, if I do like where I go. Now I could do that either by picking and then using these two fingers, or I could like do it and move over and use the pick and one finger, like. And I also might do three fingers sometimes, where you just hit them all at once. So with these, the pick and the second and third finger. And now if I mix that up with picking, that's kind of what I'd like to do, is where I'll hit a bunch of stuff together, but then I'll articulate things in between it, like. When I pick, where if I depict certain strings, but I will actually pick down and up, which is when, like if I'm doing like a. So I'm just taking certain strings, and I'll go ahead and hit those together at the same time. But I could do those at the where I pick it at the same time rather than going. I could either do like. Or I could do it where I use both fingers at the same time. But the main thing is to try to, for me, is to try to get that bounce. The technique of that bounce technique is actually a harder way to pick. If you incorporate that with trying to make the string legato, you've got two kind of challenging things: to get that bounce and then let it sing. It's a little harder to do than other techniques, and it kind of requires your touch on your fretboard as well as your gear to be working with you. So there's a bounce that's in the same fluidity of your playing, as esoteric as that sounds. So and then it just, to me, it just, I kind of like the way that sound. It allows you, when you have like a super high gain setting, to still sound really musical instead of getting kind of trashy. Like if you pick straight on, you run the risk of having a trashier sound. Whereas if you're kind of brushing the string up, you're trying to get as much of the purity note as you can. So I hope that helped a little bit. And if you have a couple of bucks or whatever you can spare for the food bank, we'll keep plugging away and try to get out of this challenging time. Really enjoyed doing this lesson for you, and I hope you have a great day and a great week. All right, thank you. Bye.